Hello, ladies and gentlemen. If I wouldn't get this stream struck down, I would be playing the Donald Trump Never Come Down right now. Because boys, it looks like Keno is back on the menu. It's just this is amazing. Like I had a long day at work today. It wasn't bad, but it was a long, hard day at work. And I saw this midway through, responding to a stack of emails. I'm like, Keno's back on the menu. Christmas came early this year. This massive piece of shit is going to be running for president. It's amazing. Okay, let me just see here. Let me just get a link to this. It's going to be incredible. Who thought this was a good idea? Who sat down and was like, we need Cenk Uygur to run for president of the United States against Joe Biden? Can he even run for president? Nobody knows. People talk about is like Trump qualify. Can Trump run for president? Like, what if he's convicted? I don't know. This dude probably illegally came into the country. No, I know he didn't, but it's just, it's fucking amazing. Now, I haven't followed this guy for years because, frankly, he's so cringe that I can't take it. Oh, thanks for letting me know. I typed this out on my uh, there isn't an easy way to set these up on your cell phone, so I have to like go into Chrome on my like mobile phone and put it into desktop mode and to try to go through this. So, Cenk Uygur has announced he is running for president. This is in the aftermath of RFK Jr. announcing that he is leaving the Democratic Party and he is going to run as an independent. It's just fucking. It made my day. It made my week. Because as big of a loser as you are, you'll never be as big a joke as Cenk Uygur. So we're going to have like this non-American uh, T. Roach run for office who runs a talk show that is named after a proto-fascist party that committed multiple genocides. Let's fucking go. Let's go with the Young Turks. I'm pretty sure that's how the Young Turks are normally described these days. Okay, let's see here. The Young Turks. Young Turk Revolution. The Committee of Union and Progress. Yeah, they're this fucking weird group of like pan-Islamism and secularism and Turkish nationalism. They were fucking weird. I've heard them described as being proto-fascist, and that's probably true. But that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna go through this, and we're gonna take a look at Cenk Uygur's campaign for president. So I'm actually. Oh, he has a fucking website. Let's go. Let's fucking go. I used to listen to the Young Turks back in the 2000s. No, like I used to listen to Air America. I used to listen to the Young Turks. I used to listen to Al Franken, Tom Hartman, all these guys. But that was like back when they used to be. They were more like protectionist and they were somewhat more left wing nationalist. Now they're just massive. Uh, okay, let's see here. Uh, okay. If you do things the regular way, Hamas, yep. A major announcement. It's about the presidential race. Okay, yes, I'm running against Joe Biden for the Democratic nomination. Joe Biden is down 24 points on the economy. He has no ability to make up this kind of ground now. On the most important issue, we need a new candidate now. Let's see, where's the community note? This community note's amazing. Readers added context. Cenk Uygur was born in Istanbul, Turkey, and is therefore constitutionally ineligible to run for president. So this is this is from Article 2. No person except a natural-born citizen or citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of the Constitution shall be eligible for the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained the age of 35 years and 14 years a resident within the United States. So there was some disagreement on the natural born citizen thing, and this is why I never really got the whole birther thing, because Obama might not have been physically born in America, but excuse me, I interpret natural born citizen to mean someone born of American parents. Like if there's two American citizen like if there's an ambassador to like Germany or something, and his son's born there, it seems weird that I just interpret it as they're an American citizen from birth, born to American citizens. But that's just me. So he can't do it. Emotional support shit poster. Okay, let's see here. He got ratioed pretty bad. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Winning this case in the Supreme Court is going to get rid of the albatross around the neck of 25 million Americans who are naturalized citizens. The Supreme Court has already said we have the same exact rights. So the community notes are amazing. So Cenk is going to go and fight. He's going to go and like do a Supreme Court case to run for president. And he's like somehow going to get this through the Supreme Court in the next year. Like, let's just let's just take a step. Okay, so we have this asshole who is the head of this Muslim atheist degenerate who runs a TV show, an internet TV show named after a proto-fascist organization of who committed multiple genocides. Let's see here. Is he divorced now? Let's see here. Oh, he ran for. Okay, so he only got 6% of the vote. Um, let's see. Is he still married, or did he get divorced? No, he's still married to Wendy, or as he calls her, Woo Woo. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so he's gonna run for. Okay, so he's gonna. How would you even do this? Like, how would he bring suit with the Supreme Court? Does he just go to the Supreme Court and it's like, look, I want to dispute this, guys. I want to like run for president. Um, can you decide this in the next like day or two? Actually, let's see here. Um, okay, California district special election. It's Joe for 7%, 6%. Oosh, oosh. So, like, is it he files to run for president and they tell him no, and then he goes and sues in the Supreme Court? So, like, okay, so let's say he somehow gets to the Supreme Court in the next year before the election or before. I don't even know how this would work. Would it have to be before the election date? Would it have to be before the deadline to register? Um, I don't know, to be honest. Okay, Anti Annihilator 5000 says, I think procedurally he runs and gets enough traction that the Biden campaign sues to challenge his candidacy. Then he appeals from there. Oh, that would be amazing if Biden challenges candidacy. The Republicans could put that in every campaign ad that like Cenk was a dreamer. He was an immigrant to America, and um, Joe Biden would is trying to disavow him based on where he was born, and because he's Muslim. So I don't know if he would have to get that. He would be America's first non-kosher president. I don't know. He would be pretty. I mean, he's Turkish. That's whatever. Anyways, what was I thinking of again? Fuck me. Wait a minute. What's this Fatima? Sorry, I'm distracted. Is this something about? Is this the anniversary of Fatima or something? Okay, it's the anniversary of Fatima. Okay, 105th anniversary. Okay. God bless. We all love Our Lady. Um, so he's running against Joe Biden. I actually, like I said, I'm sorry I keep getting distracted. I'm just so hyped over this. But guys, can you imagine what it's going to be like to have this loser run against Joe Biden? Like, they're the only two people other than Marianne Wilkinson. Like, he's going to attack Biden from the left. And how is this in any way going to help the Democrats? A, he has a 0% chance of winning. Zero, maybe even a negative percent chance of winning. But he's going to come in and he's going to bring like a bunch of like SJWs and BreadTube and all those F-slurs with him. And they're going to just push all this stuff about how Biden's a corporate shill, about how Biden's like a fake progressive. And it's just going to piss a lot of Democrats off, and they might vote for Cornel West or RFK. Yes, the defeat of the Turks at Lepanto. That is correct. By John Juan of Austria. So let us go through the rest of this. Okay. Case law is clear. Naturalized citizens can run for president. Schneider is clear that treating natural born citizens and naturalized citizens differently is contrary to the Fifth Amendment. Forbidding naturalized citizens from becoming president or vice president is a form of discrimination that limits their options and treats them as second class citizens. I thought these guys hated the Constitution, though. Like, I thought that the Constitution was bad. Okay, look at that. That is, it's Jover. It's look at this fat piece of shit, and I'm fat too. Don't get me wrong, but what a massive piece of shit. Look at the optics of this. It's just it's. Can I get a physiognomy check? We've already passed 1,000 donors. People know I'm going to fight for them, and they know Biden is going to lose. We have to do something about it right now. I love how they put this under all of them. Like, yeah, Musk could run for president. You know what's funny is that Justin called like Musk a um, he called Musk like like a shady foreign billionaire. I'm pretty sure Musk is a Canadian citizen. So, um, yeah, we already passed 1,000 donors. So here's the question, because we went through the whole Georgia thing about how Trump was running a conspiracy. Is this a conspiracy? Is this a fraud? Because he's taking money for people for a presidential campaign that's illegal. So isn't this technically funding a criminal enterprise? Like, am I just high? Is that like, I don't know. I just feel like that kind of is what's being implied here. He's South African born. Let me just take this out. He has African, Canadian, and American citizenship. Okay, so this actually kind of irritated me because this is so disingenuous. Biden created 14 million jobs in his first 3 years. Trump created 6.4 million in his first three. Biden more than doubled him. Guess who has a 19-point lead on jobs? Trump. Biden has no ability to make his own case. Time for a new candidate. Um, like, I don't get it. Like, okay, they always do this. It's like when DeSantis brings up Trump and the national debt. What happened during what happened during the first 3 years of Trump's time in office? Oh yeah, COVID happened. What happened during the first 3 years of Biden's term in office? COVID ended. So all those businesses that were shut down, all those people who got laid off, a lot of them just got rehired. It's not like we had a once in a generation economic crisis that completely screwed this all up. I think the fact that Trump created a net amount of jobs um, is impressive, considering what he had to deal with. Okay, let's see here. Chink for America. Okay, let's see. Let's look at this website. Wow. Look at this. It shits for the birds. Like, is this real? Is this fucking real? Like, huh? What the fuck? I don't know, guys. Does this look like like? It's so bad. Like, like that doesn't look proportional. Like that's this tiny ass thing. Um, that looks like a butt crack. Um, we have this tiny picture. It's not even like centered properly. Actually, this is kind of irritating me because it's not like it looks like it overlaps with the. We have this shitty like red underline that makes this hard to read. Um, Biden is trailing Trump when he has to win the popular vote by 5 points to win the electoral college. We got the Twitter thing. I like how he doesn't have a campaign. Um, he doesn't have a campaign Twitter account. It's just his personal Twitter account. There's no issue page. There's no like anything. This is what he came up with. Like, Cenk for America. Affordable health insurance and gerrymandering. Time off for mothers. Yeah, but if you ended gerrymandering, then Illinois would probably be a red state. Like, do you really want that to happen? Like, okay, like let's take a look at this. Sorry, this is a side note, but I was looking at this the other day. Um, Let's see here. Illinois House. Yeah, like, okay, so if we got rid of gerrymandering, then like the Republicans would win in Illinois. Um, let's see here. What are some of the more? Yeah, the Democrats have a super majority despite getting less than half of the vote. I'm sure I'm sure that they want that to happen. Okay, let me see the Nevada. Yeah, this is like if you had if you got rid of gerrymandering, you wouldn't have this. This is the worst example of gerrymandering I think I've ever seen. Republicans beat the Democrats by 13 points, and the Democrats got a super. I think that's a super majority too. That might be a super majority. Like, it's over. It's over. So yeah, you could get rid of that gerrymandering, Cenk. I don't think that's a good idea. So this is what we have. We don't have an issue page. We don't have like anything other than just this shitty like donate button. There's no links here. It shits for the birds. I don't know. I don't know if this is real. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see if there's a video. Oh shit. Okay. I might have to. Oh, okay. We'll see how long I can last. We'll see how long I can last. I'm not. It's not going to be long though.
Announcement that will entirety of the second hour of the show today. Here to
Anna Kasparian looks like a swamp creature. Like, I don't know if she's had some work done to her face.
To make that announcement in the capacity.
I will be running for president of the United States of America. Cenkforamerica.com. And the idea here, guys, is let's change the course. Right now, Joe Biden is down 24 points in the economy, 19 points on jobs when he actually did better on jobs than Trump did. He's down 13 points from where he was in 2020. He is not going to win. I am running. Yes, I am a break glass in case of emergency candidate. It should not have been me. It should have been someone else. But unfortunately, it was not anyone else. And now there's only 4 months left. We must change course. He has at best a 10% chance of winning. Donald Trump is an actual fascist. So I am running as a proxy.
I mean, we did a video on this, Cenk. We did a Is It Fascist for MAGA, and MAGA got not fascist. I'd like for him to describe how, like, Trump is a fascist.
I'm not running to win, but I'm also running as a proxy for any other candidate. We have got to get Biden out of the race. Thank you for winning in 2020. But if he loses this time around, it's not just his problem, it's all of our problems. I actually think democracy is on the line. And so if it takes me running, then that's what I'm going to do. And we're all going to do it together. And by the way,
he's going to save America, guys. This piece of shit.
And I'll say this up front, and then I'll let you ask all your questions, Anna. If I do this alone and it's just my idea, it's never going to work, okay? I'm either your voice or I'm not. If you guys want to have a stronger candidate in this race and you want to beat Donald Trump, you're going to make that happen. Cenkforamerica.com or in any way, volunteering, whatever you want, okay? But if I'm not your voice, I have no chance at all. So let's see if we can bring something good into the world and make a giant difference together. And you know me.
With your money is what he means. Okay, let's see, because I have the thing. Oh, okay, I can't, my plugin's not working, so I can't see how many dislikes. this has.
Always believed that we can make a difference together, and this is the time to do it before the primaries.
I have a lot of questions. What I want you to explain is the logic behind what you're doing, right? Because it seems.
I mean, like, don't get me. If Trump was a fascist, I'd probably like him more. But like, I wish I lived in this world that they live in, like, where like neo Nazis run everything, where like the entire media is conservative. That like, I wish I lived in this world.
Seems as though you think running is going to spark something in other potential candidates. So
Yeah.
Explain what the logic is.
Great question. So,
Okay, YouTube channel, executive producer, the Gay AF Dragon AJ. So there's the Gay as Fuck Dragon and Xeno Dragon, who are the executive producers.
first of all, when it comes to the issue of me being a naturalized citizen, which I know we're going to get to later, if it wasn't for that, there would be no obstacles to begin with. There should be a progressive in this race. There should have been one for a long time. Marianne Williamson has been in there, but unfortunately she hasn't broken through. I have nothing but respect for her courage and her policies, etc. But at this point, we're not at progressives versus establishment. We're at 4 months left. And things must change, otherwise we're almost definitely going to lose to Trump.
What do you mean when you say 4 months left? I know what you mean, but explain it to the audience.
So
4 months to flatten the curve.
Iowa, South Carolina primaries, caucuses, etc., starting in about 4 months. So, in fact, the Nevada ballot deadline is on October 16th. So it's in a couple of days. That forces us to go now, right? And so, first of all, if Joe Biden drops out, everything is possible. Everything is possible. All the other candidates will come in. Governor Whitmer, Governor Shapiro.
So is this like his genius plan that he's going to announce he's running before the deadline? And then he's going to hope that Biden has a heart attack. And it's literally going to only be him and Marianne Wilkinson. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, this is his fucking website. This whole thing, like, yeah, I support Cenk too. Like, once again, he's gonna call Biden out. Who knows? Maybe he's gonna like actually call Biden out on the big guy thing, on all the corruption charges, and just piss off the base of the party to the point where people won't vote for Biden. I don't see how this does anything other than hurt Biden and make the Democrats look like massive stuff.
You name it, they will all come in and we'll have a real primary, which we should have had from day one. By the way, when we don't do primaries, Republicans get their message out in their primaries is constantly talking about Republican X or Republican Y. Democrats have gotten none of their message out. We need a real strong primary. So my job is to be basically Paul Revere. Biden's going to lose.
No, but not having a primary is also a good thing. Like, Trump is not treating this like a primary. He's treating it that he's the candidate and he's going and campaigning and trying to get the voting machine set up and stuff like that. So, like, he just basically told everyone to fuck off and that this whole, like, primary is a waste of time.
Biden's going to lose. Biden's going to lose. We got to go now. We have to change that dynamic. So I'm going to, yes, pressure Biden to get out of the race. So if he leaves now, he's a hero. He did something incredibly magnanimous. He beat Trump.
He's gonna go. No, you're not allowed to run if you're not natural born. I mean, this was the thing they brought up with Obama, which I think was bullshit because Obama was a natural born citizen because his mother was an American citizen. It's not allowed. So later Gator, he's gonna go to the Supreme Court and get them to overturn Article 5 of the Constitution to allow him to run for president using like the Equal Protection Clause or maybe it's not Article 5, but this is his plan.
Last time he was a good steward of the economy, so he retires a hero. But if he stays in, I'm going to explain to people that he's the villain. And if he loses to Trump, if I'm wrong and he beats Trump, then great. Then my apologies to Joe Biden. But that's not going to happen, and we all know that's not going to happen. So the idea is to create enough pressure on Biden. And here's how you get the pressure. One of the ways you get the pressure is everybody thinks that I have almost no chance of winning, right? Well, let's keep.
Okay, so he literally thinks he can pressure Biden. Biden probably has no idea who this Essler is.
Real. Everybody knows that, right? They're like, oh, your name is funny. You weren't born here. You're a progressive. You're an outsider, et cetera, right? If I get to 20 or 25, panic sets in. There's no question panic sets in.
Dude, what planet are you on? Let me see if I can find that clip. No, okay. They don't have it. He's gonna get 20 to 25% of the vote.
Because there's two things that happen there. One, the other candidates go, well, Biden is enormously weak, right? Number two is Biden begins to realize the handwriting's on the wall. If this Cenk Uygur, who he probably can't pronounce, has gotten to 25, the handwriting.
Okay, dude, RFK. What was RFK at? RFK, I think we could all agree, is a way stronger candidate than Cenk. Can we all agree with that in the chat? RFK, people actually like him. He actually has interesting policies. He let me see if there's he has a name. Yeah, so RFK was at like 15%. So he's gonna he thinks he's gonna do 10 points better than RFK. And RFK has a lot of problems with him on a lot of social issues, but I would vote for him over Biden. I would vote for Biden. Sorry, him over Biden in a second. He's way better than Biden. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, so Later Gator thinks that it's a G slur op. No, RFK has some. I don't want to get into it now, but he has a lot of left wing views that are cringe.
Gotta go. And by the way, Anna, the reason why this is realistic is because there are a lot of people in Washington, inside the establishment, that are trying to get Joe Biden to drop out. We need to help them. We need to create that.
So he thinks the fucking Illuminati is gonna come in here. The Illuminati is going to come in and make Cenk the head of the Democratic Party. They're going to go, we could get Pete Buttigieg, we could get Elizabeth Warren or some boring. Oh yeah, RFK I think supports it up to birth. I'm pretty sure that RFK, supports no restrictions on abortion.
That pressure.
Okay, let me jump in. You have publicly Bill Maher, James Carville, behind the scenes, other members of the Democratic Party urging Biden to drop out, saying that this is a massive risk that will likely get Donald Trump reelected again. Why do you think
she is you know what she looks like? She looks like discount Evita Perón, meets Madonna. I mean, well, Madonna was Evita Perón, but look, fuck.
That you would be an effective voice in dissuading Biden from running again?
Yeah, there's two things about that, Anna. So number one, why aren't they in the race? So look, you can say, well, what do you mean? Why should Bill Maher go in the race? Of course, James Carville's not going to go in the race. Yeah, but guys, just talking about it isn't getting anything done. So you need to actually have someone in the race that is actively pushing him out and saying, so these polite beseeching of Joe Biden isn't working. And yes, we've got to crank up the dial. And so one of the ways you do that is you have a real candidate who actually makes a real run at him. And when you have make a real run at him, that's going to create an enormous amount of pressure rather than just chitter chatter sitting there as time runs out in Washington, D.C. Now,
we'll talk about RFK some other time. I think he's against all guns.
You're getting to an important point here. And I know some people are nervous. Well, I mean, if Joe Biden only has a 10% chance of winning, and Cenk, you criticize him, does that come down to 9% or 8%? What difference does it make? He's going to lose. 10% isn't enough to win. He's massively behind. He's massively behind, okay? So instead, what the point of turning up the pressure is...
No, but the thing is, like, I agree with RFK, like, 40 to 50% versus, like, 10% for Biden.
If you lose to Trump, it is going to be on the record. We warned you. I warned you. I came in the race in a crazy attempt to make a difference because we're on a collision course with fascism. And if Joe Biden says, yes, I am that selfish. Yes, I don't care about you guys. I don't care if democracy's on the line. I don't care if I'm 80. I don't care if I'm 180. My legacy and my ego is more important than anything else in the world. So I will stay here and try to get
my legacy and my ego. So he's criticizing Biden for his legacy and his ego. You know what? I'm gonna have to screen cap this. This is gonna be the thumbnail for the video. Yeah, I'm sure RFK's platform is similar to Biden's on a lot of issues. Like, almost identical to Brandon's. Okay, I'm just going to take that screen cap.
Term president, because 2 terms is better than 1 term. And guys, and if you're in the press or you're out there as a voter, you all know that's what he's thinking. You all know that, right?
I don't think Biden's, like, coherent enough to actually, like, think anything.
You know that it's all about his ego. And it is intensely selfish, and I'm going to say that 2,000 times on every show until he gets it through his thick head. Stop being selfish. Democracy is actually on the line. JenkForAmerica.com.
Like, there is some things that I support that probably would be seen as cringe. Okay, maybe I'll give a policy that I actually am kind of okay. So I don't think a revenue neutral carbon tax is that bad an idea. They have that in British Columbia. So basically they have a carbon tax, but they reduce income and corporate taxes by whatever amount the carbon tax takes in. So it doesn't actually take more net money out of the economy, but it does switch the incentives. That doesn't seem like that bad an idea to me. It's actually made BC more competitive in some ways because a lot of companies moved there.
Described your congressional run for California's 25th district as the worst experience of your life. In that election,
it's over.
Received 6.6% of the vote. It was also the worst experience of my life. What makes you think that anything would be different this time around, given the way the media treated you, given the stunts that the Democratic Party pulled against you? In order for your plan here to work,
I don't think they pulled any stunts. I think they just played some of the insane shit he said over the years.
You just said it. If you start seeing support for you, 20 to 25% of the vote, that seems like you got that support, then maybe there'll be actual pressure for Biden to step down and not seek re-election. But what makes you think you're going to get anywhere near that, considering what you've already experienced with the media's treatment of you?
I mean, I think she just completely destroyed him his entire campaign there.
Yeah. So I'm under no delusion that mainstream media is going to be all of a sudden, oh, Cenk Uygur, we've changed our minds.
No, they're going to be vicious.
Yeah. Yep. No, I know how mainstream media works, and I said it today in another interview. They will lie, they will smear me. There's no question. That's what they do to every progressive. And if you're in mainstream,
oh come on, dude, brah. I wish I lived in this world. this world where the media's like right wing and they don't suck the dick of anybody. Like, oh, come on, bro.
Media, you're pretending that you're not biased against progressives. That is hilarious. And then you will make that pretense in the middle of an article where you attack.
Dude, like, they are so biased. They are so pro-progressives.
Go ahead. You know you're going to. There isn't going to be one positive article about it, right? But hey, I'm also trying to get your beloved Whitmers and Newsoms, et cetera, into the race.
Don't say Newsom.
Okay, I know that you're not in favor of it, but that's a different conversation.
Okay, I like to ask the chat, who is a more oppressed, who is the more oppressed minority, gamers or progressives? Are gamers more oppressed or are progressives more oppressed?
So I don't think that the mainstream media is going to be any different. No, there's two things that are different, Anna. One is, I'm not the only one who thinks Joe Biden needs to get out of the race.
Dude, the mainstream media sucks your circumcised dick.
So we need to have a real primary. Tons of people, about 72.
Remember when he told the story about how he got circumcised at like 14 years old or something like that? Apparently, apparently he, in Turkey, there was like some famous circumciser who like did circumcising stunts. Like he circumcised kids while riding on horseback or something, and they got like him to do it for him. It was just
2% of Democratic voters wanted. And Democratic Party, what is wrong with you? That you ignore 72% of your voters who scream, give us another candidate. So if you didn't want me in the race, well, then you should have given him another candidate, okay? And if you didn't give him that, you got me instead. So deal with it. Now, in terms of why it's different in terms of being able to break through. In the congressional run, we couldn't break through. Why not? Because they smeared me. And by the way, if I read the LA Times article and I was a voter in the 25th congressional district and I heard nothing else about me, I would have voted against me. Because the lies and the smears in there were unreal.
I don't know. That's what he claimed back when I used to watch his show. I can't find the clip. The clip is like 20 years old at this point.
I mean, they said I was anti-Muslim. I wouldn't vote for a guy who's anti-Muslim. They didn't tell people that I'm actually Muslim, that my background's Muslim, right, etc.
They said that he was anti-Muslim. I wouldn't vote for a guy who's anti-Muslim. Like, he hates religion though. Like he hates religious people. Like he despises it. So he's like, I'm pro-Islam now, which what?
So, but this time it's a little bit different media dynamic. So
no, it
now
isn't.
We have a
No.
great number of online shows. We have more liberal outlets, conservative outlets, independent outlets, like you name it. We've got every kind of outlet there is in online, in radio. I've been on Black Radio. I'm going to go back on Black Radio.
What the fuck is Black Radio? Does anyone know? Yeah, Cenk named his son, I think he named his son Prometheus, because he saw Prometheus as being like an atheistic figure who stole power from the gods and created secularism.
I'm going to go back onto every kind of outlet that will have me on, and my guess is a lot of outlets will have me on. In the old days, mainstream media can freeze you out, right? And then you're done for. They smear you, oh, this guy's anti-Muslim, and they anti-this, anti-that, and then you never get your voice out. Well, now, look, guys, here, I'm going to keep it real. When an online show has me on, the views are going to go up because people are interested in it.
Dude, yeah, because they want to see a dumpster fire. Look, dude, this video has 140,000 views. And you have like 5.5 million subs. And this is like your biggest news ever. That Zach Kilgore says, just want to say I made it to this one. Hey, man. Yeah, because they want to laugh at you, dude. Like,
and so if maybe the entire internet will say, no, we're not interested in views. No, we're not interested in Cenk. We're not interested in another choice. Biden's got it. Biden's on cruise control here. He's definitely going to win. My guess is a lot of shows, wherever they are on the political spectrum, are going to go, oh,
Oh, he's got to go on America First. Can you imagine if he went on America First with Nick Fuentes? Can you imagine how awesome that would be? That would be fuck. That would be Keto. Or go on the Ralph Retort. Yeah, Jake goes on the Ralph Retort. And him and Ralph like sumo wrestle.
Okay, there's a fight, okay? And now there's a real challenge. And look, one of my advantages is I am loud. And so that is sometimes a disadvantage. But in this case, someone's got to scream from the rooftops. Biden's going to lose. Biden's going to lose. We've got to get another candidate. But the advantage I have is, yes, I'm loud. I'm a warrior. And I will make this case. Now,
I'm a Janissary. I'm a eunuch soldier.
not only the case that Biden's got to go, but our case. So even though this is not progressive versus establishment, and I will take any candidate, myself or others, that is going to beat Trump, yes, but our policies are more popular, and I'm not afraid to say it. And so you almost never hear someone forcefully making the argument. Why haven't they done paid family leave? 84%. Republicans wanted, Democrats wanted paid family leave. Give moms 12 weeks off.
I support paid family leave because it's something that would actually like help like non pieces of shit. And I say that as someone who's not married and doesn't have any kids. Formidable candidate with some epic lulls from the old compilations. I'm a mamluk. Carbon pricing schemes are better than carbon taxes because they're better with initiative. I'd have to. I don't. It might be. I'll look it up, but I actually don't think it's necessarily a bad idea. The problem with most carbon taxes is it's just a money grab, and it just takes more money. It just makes the economy less competitive. But
So let's actually take a brief break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit about what your platform is going to look like, what type of issues and policies you want to champion as part of this presidential run. And when we come back, we'll also read some of your questions and comments to Cenk. So if you're watching live, and especially if you're a member.
Oh, he's definitely going to read critical comments.
Write in if you have any questions. We'll ask when we come back from the break. We'll be right back.
I mean, but they aren't the actual fascists. Like, maybe I'll do. I don't know enough about Cenk Uygur's current political views. If he okay, I'll tell you what. If he puts up an issue page, I'll do an "Is it fascist" for Cenk Uygur. I will do that. I have a list that I think encapsulates what fascism is pretty well. That I've done in a whole series of videos on. Okay, so let's just take a step back. So some of Trump's policies include lower taxes and less government involvement in the economy, ending foreign wars, or a protection of freedom of speech. There's also just nothing really like radical. Like, Trump is running as a conservative, a national conservative populist. There's been like national conservative populists all time. There's been like populists, like I guess you could say maybe Goldwater, but like it's not that weird a thing. Like, nothing about Trump is that weird given American like political culture. There's always been like this populist, nativist, conservative aspect of it. Like, it's not radical. Like, what are the most radical stuff that like he wants? He wants like mild tariffs. Apparently, like mild tariffs are fascist. So.
Welcome back to TYT. We're interviewing Cenk Uygur, who's just announced.
By the way, I wanted to show you guys a tweet I put out. I was gonna put this out on Facebook, but on YouTube, but I thought it was going too far. I thought this was pretty funny. When you behead 40 babies, it's a war crime. When you behead 2,200, it's human rights. So yeah, this was back from 2004 about partial birth abortion, and it turned out that there was about 2,200 to 5,000. And it is the law defines a partial birth abortion as a procedure which the doctor deliberately and intentionally vaginally delivers a living fetus in the case of head first presentation when the entire head is outside of the body, um, puncturing the back of the child's skull and removing the baby's brains. So, once again, um, like we're the extremists though. Pro life people are extremists. Hamas, like we have to invade Palestine and genocide the Palestinians because Hamas beheaded 40 kids, which probably didn't even happen. But these Esslers support like literally like sucking the brains out of babies with uh and this is John Hopkins. This is like not um this is the CDC. This isn't like some random conservative website. Okay.
That he is entering the presidential race. He will try to.
Well, here's the thing with tariffs and international trade. It's tariffs are you have to be like selective with them because sometimes there's domestic industries that shouldn't be protected. Like the wine industry in Canada is heavily protected. I don't know if it really should be. Like, let's say there was like a sugarcane industry in Canada that survived because we had like 300% tariffs on stuff. We shouldn't be growing sugarcane in Canada. We should be trading for it. What it's good for is it's good for countering other countries that artificially lower their currencies or subsidize their stuff or have tariffs as well. Well, I don't even want people to live with the consequences of their actions because I'm fine with, as I've said numerous times, I'm okay with the state spending whatever money it takes to take care of these babies, that the parents don't have to raise them. Um, they don't. So, like, what tariffs are supposed to be is they're supposed to counter that. They're also supposed to build up infant industry. So the idea is, like in early America, you put a tariff on taxes. You put a price on taxes. Sorry, on textiles. So the British textiles cost more than the American ones. Because they're cheaper, the American ones will sell first, and then the American clothing manufacturers can start building bigger and bigger factories. They can get their economies of scale going to do the and then you can gradually get rid of tariffs as time goes on.
Primary President Joe Biden, who is seeking re-election, who is taking a massive risk considering how poorly he's doing in the polling against Donald Trump. And this is Cenk's way of trying to.
The idea is once the industry starts developing, you gradually remove the tariff so that it can become can become competitive. The other thing is tariffs are useful if you have, because there's certain industries people just want to protect. Like countries want to be able to produce a basic amount of food or weapons or
basically
something like that.
Prevent what appears to be a future set in stone for both Biden and Trump. Now, I want to read some comments from our viewers, Cenk, because there are some who have questions, some who have concerns, others support you in this effort. Seth Michael Draginski says, I have so many mixed opinions on this. But if you can't get into a debate with Biden, how does this matter? I'm asking for you to genuinely explain it to me. If you don't go all the way, what's the plan then? I really need these answers to decide where I end up on this.
Okay, super fair. So first of all, of course, the DNC should have a debates, and I understand that they're not going to because they are in the business of protecting incumbency, which is not their job. Their job is to pick the best Democrat to be the best candidate against the Republicans, but they have abdicated that responsibility. I don't think that they're gonna go, oh, Cenk Uyghur's in the race. Well, then we should do a debate right away. So I understand that. That doesn't mean you shouldn't pressure them, you should. Now, let's all note that we all know, and you don't have to be a Young Turks viewer to know this, that Joe Biden could not withstand a debate against me. It wouldn't even be close. It would be embarrassing.
Could you imagine, like, how this goes? Yeah, China also space. That's what I meant. Like, it's subsidized, so it's artificially low. Robert Spencer. I used to like him, but he's just like the biggest Israel shill of all time now. It's sad. I think he also apostatized. I can't to a certain extent. I can't really blame him for that. It's rough living under Francis. It's fucking tough.
Why are we picking a guy who would be embarrassed by an online talk show host in a debate, and we all know it and we can all acknowledge it?
Because you're a retard and you just yell over him. Like, you just yell at him, you'd cuss, you'd say, like, stupid conspiracy theories and just random shit. I would be embarrassed to go up against you. Like, when Jared Taylor went up against you, it was embarrassing because he was trying to talk and you just kept screaming over him like a fucking mongoloid.
He has no chance of beating someone who has actual facts and makes a strong case. So he can't even make a case for himself. He's at 19 points lower than Trump on jobs when he doubled the number of jobs that Trump created. I have made a better case for Biden on jobs than he has. So now, in terms of what...
Yeah, but COVID happened. Like, I don't know.
Happens. Well, we run super hard. I believe anything is possible. Do I believe we can win? Hell yes, I do. But if you get to Iowa, you get to South Carolina, which is in about 4 months from now, and I'm wrong, and we don't come close, we don't get to, God knows what I'll start at. I have no idea what number I'll start at, right? But I assume that it'll be low. But let's say I do the circuit and I get the message.
I think some of Robert Spencer's things are just, they're funny how hyperbolic they are. Like the whole thing that, that like Muhammad didn't exist just sounds insane. Like, I don't.
Message out there and people get, oh my God, your policies are so popular. Why aren't we doing those? Your voice is so strong. That's exactly what we want for the Democratic Party. Okay, great. Then I get to 20, I get to 25, I get to 35, wonderful. But if that doesn't
35, he thinks he's going to make it to 35 against Brandon.
Happen, and you lose Iowa and South Carolina decisively, you're done. It's not like you're dragging it out, right? And guys, this is another huge part of this. No one on the Democratic Party is fighting Trump. I mean, they're playing patty cakes with this guy. The guy used Nazi words the other day about poisoning the blood of our nation. The guy tried a coup attempt here. For God's sake, somebody fight him.
Dude, you're named after an organization that carried out a literal fascist coup. Like, the Young Turks literally carried out a coup. What the fuck?
I'm not waiting for...
Robert Spencer isn't a Lebanese Orthodox Christian, though. He's a Melkite Greek Christian. He was a Melkite Catholic from Turkey who got kicked out during the forced population transfers.
Chris Christie to fight Donald Trump. I'm going to fight Donald Trump. I'm a Democrat, and so our job, and I got to... Joe, wake up. You're supposed to fight the guy. Here, I'll tell you this, guys.
Like, it's the most G-slur lame coup attempt in history. Like, I wish it, like Trump comes in with Trump comes in with like the Million MAGA March, and they're all wearing like jackboots and like uniforms and like America First, like badges and stuff like that, and Trump gives this big speech about how like he has taken power and he will restore the American people to their former glory, and like based, but like that's not what it was. It was like the most G-slur coup ever. If it wasn't a coup. I wish it was.
Let's say we go a month, right? Month is not much at all, and I rise in the polls more than Biden does. What does that tell you? I mean, Biden is right now trailing.
I rise more in the polls than Biden does. Wait, so he thinks he's going to like... Can you imagine what an election between him and Trump would be like?
the most unpopular politician of our lifetimes, Donald Trump. And he needs to be up 5. So if Joe Biden surges.
So the schizo post that I saw somebody come up with was that Archie is actually Muhammad because he's a redhead with pale skin and he has multiple women who are his love interests.
And now he's up 5, he's up 7. Oh, great, Michigan, my bad. Okay, then you should say, hey, you know what? If he did this for me, I'm going to vote for him. If it looks like he's going to win, I'm going to vote for him. But why would you pick a guy that you know almost for sure is going to lose? So we're going to put the voters to a decision. Can we win that decision? Yes, of course we can. Because the Democratic voters, because of mainstream media, have almost never heard a super strong.
Okay, so I'm going to take a poll. Okay, we're going to take a poll in the chat. I'm going to list the 2 options before we get to them. Press 1 if you think this whole thing is a grift and he's trying to get an immense amount of money out of his stupid fans and maybe some big donors. That's number 1. Number 2, he is this delusional and he legitimately thinks that he can beat Joe Biden. And this is completely sincere. So those are the options. 1, this whole thing is a grift to get money. 2, this like thing is he actually thinks he can win. He's actually that like delusional. So, you know, Jughead is actually a Sigma male. He's like one of the few cases where like a character is actually a Sigma male. To be honest. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of 2s.
Democrat that says we are right on the issues. We should have $15 minimum wage. We should have, at a minimum, public option. They're incredibly popular. They're not progressive radical positions, etc. They're progressive mainstream positions. They're centrist positions.
So the problem with the thing with minimum wage is I think it kind of has to be dependent upon location. Because, like, does it make sense to have the same minimum wage in West Virginia as in, like, Los Angeles? Like, I just don't think it does. In Canada, does it make sense to have the same minimum wage in Toronto as in, like, Hamilton or whatever? It's just, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Like, that's the problem with these flat minimum wage bills. The other issue is they often will put it up so fast. Like they will like go from $12 an hour to $15 an hour in like a year. And there's no way for businesses to adjust to it.
Positions, and they've never seen a Democrat actually rip the face off a Republican. So obviously rhetorical, right? These days you have to clarify that because of the Republicans. But they put like, oh, my Joe Biden, you're gonna see it again. He's gonna go on the campaign trail and like a schmuck, he's gonna thank his Republican friend.
So Later Gator says almost no jobs in America. Pay minimum wage in America, most pay more. Yeah, well, America is very different than Canada when it comes to salaries. My understanding is people are just paid a lot more in your country.
Friends, stop doing it.
Even before the exchange rate.
That's for them. I will not be doing ads for Republicans. I will be attacking Donald Trump and telling you what a spoiled little child he is and how he bankrupted every business he's ever been involved in. He's pathetically weak. I will fight for you, Seth. That's what I'll do. JankForAmerica.com. But not only that, we already bought BidenIsGonnaLose.com. BidenIsGonnaLose.com.
So, okay, you're displaying your typical bombastic style.
I am.
Which we know. Which leads me to think about the actual kingmakers in every election.
Anna is just destroying. Like Anna's just blowing him out here.
And those kingmakers are not either party. It's people who are undecided, the independent voters. Mm-hmm. How do you propose to appeal to them?
Oh, that's super easy. Okay. I thought you were going to say kingmakers as in donors. Okay, so
no.
That's the first layer of kingmakers.
We can get to funding in a minute, but yeah, I am curious because, you know, I enjoy your boisterous, bombastic style. It's off-putting for others. I would venture to say some who identify as independents, maybe a little more conservative leaning, but are open to Democratic candidates.
So look, here's what independents and even conservatives know they're going to get with me: honesty and authenticity. So I'm not going to pull my punch.
That is the mother of all X's. That is the mother of all X's. Honesty.
Is when I don't agree with you, I'm going to throw the punch. Everybody knows that, right? So now you can say that's alienating. Sure, fair, all right? But on the other hand, when I'm honest with them and I say, hey, look, conservatives figured out that corruption was so bad that basically these things were, all these campaign contributions are bribes. That's why they want to drain the swamp. They went in the wrong direction with Trump.
Didn't this dude, like, support Biden, though?
I won't bend 1 inch on that, okay? You were wrong to go in that direction. Having said that, you were right that, yes, corruption is totally out of control. And what other Democrat tells you that, acknowledges, hey, Mitch McConnell raised $1 billion. Every Democrat out there is going, yeah,
Biden is probably the most... Okay, I have a question for the chat. Is Biden the most corrupt post-Reconstruction American president? If you think Biden is the most corrupt, press 1. If you think LBJ is the most corrupt, press 2. If you think Bill Clinton is the most corrupt, press 3. So those are the 3 we're going to go with. 1 is Biden is the most corrupt. 2 is LBJ is the most corrupt. 3 is Bill Clinton is the most corrupt. I mean, LBJ, and this isn't just because I dislike LBJ, but like, LBJ was infamously corrupt.
Man, corrupt son of a bitch, right? And mainstream media was willing to begin to entertain that conversation. Nancy Pelosi also took $1 billion.
No, I'm saying, well, JFK didn't come from a poor background and get rich through politics. I think he donated his salary to charity, whereas LBJ came from like a poor background and somehow was like had what was LBJ's net worth? Okay, let's see. List of presidents by net worth. Yeah, Lyndon Baines Johnson somehow had a net worth of $131 million, despite coming from like a relatively poor background. So, yeah, that money just, yeah.
Is she an angel? No, it's not about personalities. And I don't have anything against Nancy Pelosi on a personal level. But you took the $1 billion because you were going to serve those folks, and you did serve those folks. Now, independents know that. And when the Democrats keep going, no, when we take the corporate money, it's because we happen to agree with ExxonMobil. They lose all credibility, all ability to win independents. I would win more independent votes than any Democrat. It would.
Let me see. What's Clinton at? Yeah, Clinton's at 90 million. He somehow became extremely wealthy.
Couldn't even be close. And look, another thing is, Anna, as you know, and as we've taken some heat.
I don't know. I think LBJ is the most destructive president in American history. Like, who's more destructive than LBJ?
For here, our positions are what I call mainstream progressive. So they are not extreme left. And so, for example, one of the things that I'm animated about is crime. And I've had that debate with leftists online. God bless them, love them, brothers and sisters, okay? But crime is real. It's not, people are not imagining it. And crime is, by the way, an iceberg for the Democratic Party. That's the second thing I'll warn you about. Look, you talk, and you don't trust my anecdotes. Go do your own anecdotes. People outside of politics.
FDR, I'm pretty sure FDR didn't completely like change the immigration system the same way LBJ did.
They're like, oh yes, whoever's the leader, yes, of course. If you're losing by 24, that means
Here, kitty.
any second.
Oh, there we go.
Because Joe Biden has so much charisma. So you can't talk to people in politics.
Who's
They
a
don't.
good
Their
kitty?
brain is totally melted. But talk to real Americans. I did this weekend. Usual stuff, family, friends, etc., that are not involved in politics. So they said two things. I said, "Do you think Joe Biden's going to win?" They all laughed out loud. They're like, "Yeah, he's so old." So in politics, everybody's like careful, like, "Oh, you're ageist and this and that." We can't. I'm saying it out loud because the whole country's saying it out loud. He's too old. He's too old. We all know he's too old. And look, am I worried that it's beyond just too old? We're all
I said post-Reconstruction.
worried that it's beyond just too old. The second thing they say, Anna, I asked them, and they happen to be Asian, and I said, if the Republicans weren't weirdly hateful, how many of you would vote for Republicans now? And they all raised their hands. They're all Democrats. And I said, why? They said crime.
Crime, the migrant crisis, which they've provided absolutely no resources for and pretend like is no big deal, as local communities are now fighting for scraps among each other, and the migrants who need to be sheltered and housed and everything.
Wow, that was awful.
The Democratic Party is more interested in,
Oh, who's a good kitty? Rain's currently sitting in my lap, so what do you think, Rain? Are you gonna support Cenk? You're technically a black and white kitty, so you're like a mulatto cat, I guess. But you're a cat girl, so you're probably a groiper then. I don't know.
they're paying your dues and respecting your elders type nonsense.
Okay, there you go.
I really fail to understand how any potential Democratic candidate would see your run as a sign that they need to enter the race. I really do. I don't see it.
No, we got to knock Biden out. There's no other way around it. We have to knock Biden out. So now the guys who are not running currently, yeah, they believe in authoritarian rules, right? If the dear leader, Joe Biden, says, I don't care if I'm 90 or 200, you will bow. They bow. And
Based?
that is not what a Democrat is supposed to be. We're not supposed to bow down to authority.
That's entirely what the Democratic Party has been about since, like, Wilson.
We're supposed to challenge authority.
Well,
Dude, like, no. So Trump, like, this is the whole, like, Trump is an insider, guys. Trump is an insider. Biden's an outsider.
So, but when you say
they're doing it to protect our democracy, Cenk.
Oh, yeah.
Democracy is under threat. So.
Yeah, if you're one of those Democratic governors, don't you ever dare say that democracy is under threat and not run against the guy who has almost no chance of winning. We're giving the election to Donald Trump. I'm not going to do it. I'll do anything to make sure that doesn't happen. By the way, if you agree, it doesn't matter what your politics is. Just send in $1 at cenkforamerica.com as like a protest. Oh, please, another candidate. Please, me or anyone else. Okay, so in terms of
Oh, you're such a big girl.
I'm sorry, what was the question you were asking? The Democratic Party. Okay, yeah, so look, I hear you. That's the current state of the Democratic Party. Okay, now I'm going to say something that, let's whisper of a dream, right? I'm running to win. I'm running for a number of reasons, including to make sure that we get the best possible candidate, but I'm definitely running to win. And when people hear my message, I think they are going to be very excited that this message exists.
Okay.
Remember, people who watch mainstream media, I know it sounds shocking, but a lot of them have never heard this message. Never.
Dude, like, yeah, your message is like the same as mainstream media.
Never heard that Joe Biden didn't even try the public option, and that the public option is sitting at 68%. 2/3 of the country wants it, and the Democrats will not try. And so the dream that I'm whispering is, well, if I win.
Okay, like, I did a parody video of this at the time, like, so all the banks, Hollywood, every major media company, every celebrity, other countries, basically anybody with any type of power supported Biden. Like, but Biden's the outsider. Also, Biden spent his entire life, like, as an elected official.
And we are the Democratic Party. the Democratic Party switches overnight from one that is weak, that won't fight Republicans, that won't do anything that makes sense, that is reasonable, that can win elections. Overnight, we switch to, we fight for things that are popular. The whole country's on our side on a huge number of issues, and we fight for them and we win. Imagine a Democratic Party that's strong. JankForAmerica.com.
Our viewer, General Lemon, has a question for you. I think we know the answer to this, but just want to put it out on the record. Will you be taking any super PAC money?
Yeah, no, you don't know the answer. So here's the situation, guys. The DNC, and this is coincidental, but TYT Reports broke this. Okay, this happened a little while back, and we reported on it on Friday. So Candace Cole's the reporter for TYT Reports in DC, and she broke the story of how the DNC had a vote on keeping dark money out of the primaries, okay? Now, I'm massively in favor of taking dark money out of the primary.
Remember when there was like a group of anarchists who set up an independent state that was named after a Yu-Gi-Oh! GX character, and like their like anarchist message was support Brandon.
If they passed that rule, I would be thrilled about following it. Then later, and you would love this, they passed a resolution condemning dark money. Okay. So they voted in favor of dark money, but then condemned themselves for taking dark money. That's the current state of the Democratic Party. Okay, so if they're not gonna, and they always say about the general elections, oh, we have to keep the money in politics because we're not doing unilateral disarmament. Then I'm not doing unilateral disarmament. I don't know that I'm gonna have a huge amount of big dollar donors that come in and create super PACs for me, but I might.
So I'm running and I'm gonna take all the money from the donors in the same way. He's basically like, come on guys, look at this. This is a very merchant expression. He's like, give me money.
And if I do, God help you. Me with money, they're in a world of trouble.
Dude, you just blow it all on hookers and blow. Yeah, we're gonna watch some Chaz.
Tell her, boys. The Chaz! Jazzman! Jazzberry Pie! The Jazzmanian Devil! Jazzalicious! All right, I think she gets the point. She's about to get jazzed. Ready, geek? Time to get jazzed.
Hold that thought before you jazz me.
Okay. Chaz it up, chaz it up, chaz it up. Yeah, there we go. That was a palate cleanser before we get back to this.
So if there's super PACs that come in and they do independent expenditures, have at it, Hoss. Go for it. And if you don't like it, then make sure that there's no dark money in the Democratic primaries, which is a position that I want, okay? Look, I said this in my book. I'm going to, whether it's the PACs that I formed, this.
By the way, I'm not reading his book. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Run, whatever it is, I'm a battering ram. And eventually, progressives will spend so much money in politics, it'll be grassroots donors, the overwhelmed.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX is amazing. I love Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Yu-Gi-Oh! GX becomes really good when you realize that Jaden is a massive troll. And that I maintain most of his retardation is an act to just fuck with people. So it's like more humiliating when they lose. Because like a lot of the stuff he says and does is like deliberately just fucks with people.
Majority of them. But we will collect them as Bernie did. He got over $200 million twice in presidential elections. We will collect that money and we will spend it to attack the establishment Democrats so much that they cry uncle. And they go, oh, no, we didn't want money in politics. Then we will take that money and we will crash it on top of the Republican Party's head until they cry uncle.
Dude, you are going to get crushed like the cockroach you are. They are like this big boot is just going to come from the sky and just smash you like the filthy cockroach you are. Why the fuck are you even in this country? Well, in America. Like, what a fucking joke. Like, you're gonna get crushed. Nobody likes you. Like,
And they get money out of politics to get our money out of politics.
no, but like if you look at a lot of the stuff Jaden says, it could very easily be a troll, like him pretending to be stupid. Like when he's dealing with Crowler and he thinks Crowler is like a woman and stuff. I think he knows that. When like I think he pretends he doesn't know what a fiance is just to fuck with Alexis. Jaden is a Chad.
Meanwhile, JankForAmerica.com. Look, guys, bottom line is, you either, look, I'm not spectacularly wealthy. Oh, God, I wish I was. If I was, I would spend so much money. I would make them cry. You want to have these super PACs.
How does he not have money with like the sheer amount of like grift that he's done over time? Like, look at all of this grift. Look at all of this.
Go and attack progressives like Nina Turner. I would double anything a super PAC spend if I had that kind of money. But for now, it's us together, guys. Either you say, yeah, go get him, Cenk. Go get him. Go to JankForAmerica.com. You know, you give $1, great. That's a protest against the current system. You want to give more, fantastic. Whatever money you give, I am going to take that and put so much.
I'm gonna take that. Whoa, look at that Cooper face. Look at that Cooper face.
Energy behind it. And I'm going to amplify it. And yes, we can win that way.
When we come back from the break, I want to talk a little bit about the fact that you are not an American-born citizen, you're a naturalized citizen.
Okay, I'm gonna take a break for a second, and I'm gonna do something really degenerate. I understand that she's Egyptian, but I do think Ishizu is like absurdly beautiful. I mean, look at her. Yeah. Where is it? Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, look at her. She's an Egyptian queen. Fioa no Gravekeeper GF.
So there are some big obstacles and questions surrounding your eligibility to run for president. So
I got this.
We'll address that. I also want to address what your presidential run means for the show, which is my priority. So we'll talk about what that means for the main show and for the company when we return.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that her and Merrick are Coptic.
Welcome back to TYT. We're interviewing Cenk Uygur, who's just announced that he is running for president and challenging President Joe Biden in the primary.
Also, like Alexis, I ship Ishizu and Kaiba. I think that's I think that would be based. What was her name? I don't know like how Alexis like operates in that outfit. I mean, that is the shortest skirt I think I've ever seen in anything. Like it doesn't even look comfortable. At this point, I don't know. Maybe maybe that's like Kaiba being a Sigma male is forcing all the women at his school to dress like that because they're sluts.
Primary. So, Cenk, the big issue, the big obstacle kind of standing in your way is the fact that you were born in Turkey, you immigrated to the United States at 8 years old, you are a naturalized citizen.
I don't know. I think Ishizu's. Let's see here. What does Kisara look like? Yeah, I guess you're right. Kisara's pretty cute, but I don't know. I'm still on Team Ishizu. Kisara, for those of you who don't know, is is the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
But my understanding is that only U.S.-born citizens can run for president. You disagree with that. Why?
Yeah, the case law is completely on my side. So this conventional wisdom, we've all heard it. We heard it in 8th grade civics class, and it's stuck in our heads. It was an easy thing to remember, right? Oh, if you're not born here. And by the way, there's 25 million Americans who are naturalized citizens. And every one of us has heard about 200 times in our lives, ha, you can't run for president. Now, look, guys, the people who say that, they just remember it from school. They don't mean any harm by it, right? But
Okay, let's see. Okay, apparently Charlie Kirk said something based. Let's see here. In February 2020, Harvard School gave its largest ever gift, creating Okay. Jews are some of the most generous founders of American universities. Liberal Jews, wake up, Jews. Stop subsidizing your own genocide. Oh no. It's Jover.
But for those of us who hear it, what we're hearing is, you're not really fully American. We don't trust you. You're from a different country. And so the reason that the founding fathers put that in the first place was because at the time they were worried about royal princes that come into the bloodline and find a way to snake control away to a foreign government. That stuff's not at all relevant anymore.
No, it's 100% relevant.
And it's obviously not fair.
I haven't watched 5Ds, so I don't
Ted
know.
Lieu, who's in Congress now, and who's a colonel in the Air Force. What is he not? He's loyal to Taiwan because he came when he was 3. It's absurd. But none of that matters. The only thing that matters is the case law. And the Supreme Court has already ruled, is Schneider v. Rusk. I asked you guys if you would do graphics. Do you have those graphics or no?
We do. Yeah, let's put up.
So, and I wanted to show you guys this so you can see it with your own eyes. And thank you for humoring me on that. And so this is from a law review article on University of Illinois. And it shows you definitively that Schneider v. Rusk has already decided this issue. So they had an issue that came up where naturalized citizens were being treated different than natural born.
I wish I was watching Yu-Gi-Oh! GX instead of this.
Citizens. So here's what the court wrote. This is the Supreme Court in that case. The statute proceeds on the impermissible.
Okay, so let's see what Akasa looks like, because I'd rather look at cute anime girls than this F-star. Wow, she looks almost exactly like Kaylin. Like, identical to Kaylin. Doesn't she? I don't know. I think they look like extremely similar. That could just be me, though. I'm bad with faces.
Assumption that naturalized citizens as a class are less reliable and bear less allegiance to this country than do the native born. This is an assumption that is impossible for us to make. Moreover, while the Fifth Amendment contains no equal protection clause, it does forbid discrimination that is so unjustifiable.
Apparently, Kaylin got like completely screwed in the new movie that they did, and she's like barely in it. I don't know. She was by far my favorite Code Geass character.
Is to be violative of due process. A native-born citizen is free to reside abroad indefinitely without suffering loss of citizenship. The discrimination aimed at naturalized citizens drastically limits their rights to live and work abroad in a way that other citizens may. It creates, indeed, a second-class citizenship. So the Supreme Court ruled it is unconstitutional to discriminate against naturalized citizens. This issue is actually already settled. Just no one knows it. So I'm going to try to get this albatross off.
No, but Obama was a natural-born citizen because his mother was an American citizen. So he was born an American citizen.
Off of all of our necks. If you're one of those 25 million Americans, that alone is a reason to go to JenkForAmerica.com and support what I'm doing, because I'm going to try my best to make us all 100% citizens. And I think the Supreme Court is clearly on our side. I'll read one last thing. Thank you.
I don't know. I'm not a big C2 fan. She's like okay, I guess. I'm a much bigger Kaylin fan. Because I feel like Shirley doesn't understand him. C2 puts, like, enables his bullshit. I feel like Kaylin's the only one who kind of keeps him in line and, like, tells him to fuck off when he needs to be told. Also, I just like redheads.
you for humoring me on this. The law review article of University of Illinois concluded this should be the end of the story. Schneider is clear that treating natural-born citizens and naturalized citizens differently is contrary to the Fifth Amendment, forbidding naturalized citizens from being president or vice president.
It's just some fucking random dude wrote an article. I don't know.
Is a form of discrimination that limits their options and treats them.
So do you think that it's a form of discrimination if Trump was not allowed to run for president because he was convicted of a crime? Question.
As second-class citizens? It is not permissible. It is unconstitutional.
So while I agree with that take, I certainly agree with that take, the Constitution also says the following. Okay, so this is Article 2, Section 1, Clause 5 of the United States Constitution. No person except a natural-born citizen or a citizen of the United States at the time of the adoption of this Constitution shall be eligible to the office of president. Neither shall any person be eligible to that office who shall not have attained to the age of 35 years and been 14 years a resident within the United States.
So, Anna, it's a great question, especially because for folks who are not familiar with constitutional law, but although all of you will get it instantly, the amendments obviously amend the original Constitution.
Right.
And what I just read to you in Schneider is the Supreme Court said very clearly that the Fifth Amendment amended the Constitution to make naturalized citizens have the same exact rights because of due process. And later, Fifth Amendment jurisprudence in America also includes the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. So if you want to...
The Equal Protection Clause. Yeah, but it's not equal protection because, like, it doesn't apply to, like, a lot of...
Undo that. You'd have to wipe away a giant chunk of American jurisprudence.
Oh, base.
Which they would have to go...
Can we repeal the 14th Amendment?
Wildly against precedent to do. And so that part has simply been amended out of the Constitution. It is absolutely clear as Schneider. And by the way, if you're saying, yeah, but Cenk, are you going to have the resources to be able to do this, to take this case to the Supreme Court?
Yeah, it's a good question. And
Yeah.
are you lawyering up? Like, what's your plan? Because this will be challenged if
Yes,
you are seen as enough of a threat to the Democratic Party.
No question. So I have lawyered up. I have the same lawyer Bernie Sanders used in both of his presidential runs. And my guess is I'm going to have some strong allies in this. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm going to the Supreme Court. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to...
Okay, let's look at some anime waifus because I actually thought that was Kaylin there for a minute. Like, it's kind of uncanny how similar they look. I like Alexis and Jaden. I think they're a cute couple, to be honest. Who else is there? Yeah, Taya Gardner. Why is this not searching? There we go. Yeah, like Taya's first outfit was just very unflattering. Oh, okay. Yeah, they did give her... She does have a nice portrait in the new movie. Yeah, she does look pretty good in the new movie, actually. I mean, I get that this is cringe, but is this any less cringe, any more cringe than, yeah. Bernie didn't need to argue his eligibility.
lose. Now, the case is on our side. Precedent is definitely on our side.
No, it isn't.
So what are you going to do, brother? Are you going to sit on the sidelines? Or, by the way, not just Schwarzenegger, 25 million Americans. Aren't you guys sick of this? We are. Here, I'll give you one last example. Rahm Emanuel, born in America, but went and served in the Israeli Defense Forces. No problem, I got no beef with that, okay? But he can run for president. He served in a foreign army, but can run for president. Patrick Bet-David, right winger, okay? was on his show. He's a Christian Armenian from Iran. His family fled from the Iranian Revolution.
Sorry, who is
He's
this?
a Christian. Patrick Bet David, right? Family. And what is this?
Okay, this is just fucking like, this is awful. Okay, I that's all I can take of this nonsense. So, the conclusion, if you're just coming in now, Cenk Uygur decided he's going to run for president. He's convinced that somehow he's going to be able to beat Biden. The whole thing's a grift. He has the single worst website I think I've ever seen for a major political figure. It looks like shit. And I think Ashizu's best girl. And with that, we're going to end this. God bless everybody, and I'll talk to you again real soon.